The Abstergo gear set is out now in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, so let's take a look at that in this video. Is it any good? Plus, Sargon is selling 2 very cool legendary Helix store items at the Eco store. And there is a new mercenary to kill and way more, so let's get into it. If you enjoyed that, then a like would be super appreciated, and let's go. So we of course already knew that this set was coming, but it's now actually released, it's now available in the game. And one thing I wanted to check is how it looks during cutscenes, because we haven't seen that before, and it looks pretty cool with the chest like going up to your neck. It's really something we haven't seen before in the game. It totally feels out of place in ancient Greece, but as I said before, I don't really mind that at all. And it's one of the few sets that actually has trousers. In the main game we were lacking them for all the armor sets, but then later on we got the Persian Elite armor set now and the Darius set also added pants. Thanks to everyone who noted that during the live stream and in the comments. And now the Abstergo Elite gear set is one of them. The pack comes with a cool looking bow that shines a little in the dark and of course really fits the outfit. The horse is up there with one of my favorite horses in the game thanks to the robotic look with wires as a tail. And some things that shine in the dark as well. The eyes are not that sharp though, like if you zoom in you totally see that. So I thought it was worth pointing out, like if you don't really focus on it you don't really see it, but if you do then you do notice. So it's available right now in the Helix store for 1000 Helix credits, of course also available at the Ecos store. So if you buy an Olympian gift then you should find pieces of this gear pack and the mounts in these gifts. And I'm running a giveaway as well, just follow the link in the pinned comment for a chance to win and be sure you are subscribed to the channel. I will announce the winner in my next Assassin's Creed Odyssey video and that will be pretty soon. So you got a little more than 1 day to participate still. The bow already gave it away of course that it's a hunter set. The bow has extra headshot damage and the slow time for 5 seconds with low health perk. And on paper that's a pretty cool perk because it changes the game up a little bit. It's not like 30% extra crit chance or something, it does really do something. The question is though, is it good? With a hunter playstyle you want to stay far away from the enemies anyways, so only if you like really go crazy you might get hit by a melee attack, and on the nightmare difficulty this melee attack will most likely get your health down but not till that red bar, and that is what needs to happen before this effect will trigger. So it will be hard to trigger this in the first place, and there's also no way to tell when the 2-minute cooldown is over, because after the effect like happened once you have to wait 2 minutes to be able to use this effect again. So it's not really reliable, and also sometimes it does not trigger. Like, I can be wrong about that, but sometimes I'm like low health and it's more than 2 minutes for sure, and there's no slow time effect at all. If it does though, then it can be pretty cool. Slowing down the time can help you take out the chasing enemies for example, or get adrenaline back and then heal yourself back up. You can do a lot in the 5 seconds. But yeah, overall it's not as good as the other legendary perks that really enhance your damage or something. So a cool idea, but not really useful. Making this bow not great overall, just cool for the glow in the dark skin. The gear set though is different and pretty powerful, especially when you are hidden. And I really like set bonuses like this because it really makes you play differently. I just now notice how many bushes there for example are in the forts and the little camps that you can hide in, while normally as a hunter or warrior player or even an assassin player you just sneak around. I would use the Shadow of Nyx ability so I did not have to be in the bushes all the time. Now though, you have to be hidden to have the 100% extra damage with your bow. And you totally see the difference in damage as well. Not in the health bar when you like hold up your bow and charge it, then it will show the same amount of damage, but the impact damage is different for sure. For example here, I attack this enemy with a devastating shot when he sees me, and I do 356,000 crit damage, while later when I'm hidden, I deal almost 500,000 damage, also a crit and also a headshot with of course the same ability. So yes, abilities will also have their damage increased as far as I could tell. And yes, this now means that it's a legit tactic to go hide in the bush inside a fort and kill all the enemies that are like crouching to not get hit by the arrows that are coming out of the bush. And you can just keep this up for a long time. Just make sure that the enemies do not reach you, that they do not see you. Use your rapid fire ability, for example, devastating shots, to have them like drop on the ground so they will retreat again. And also the multi-shot while hidden deals a ton of damage. But even when you're not hidden, I have a feeling that this set does a lot of hunter damage as well. even on the nightmare difficulty, as you see right here. We'll show you the perks per gear piece in a second, but first a little bit of info on being hidden, because I had to figure this out myself as well. But after some testing, I found out that being hidden is when the enemy is not engaged, so when he's not onto you. So also when you have like a mercenary that is just walking around, or enemies that have a question mark above their heads, you'll deal more damage because you are hidden to them. But the moment they see you and engage, then the damage buff is not present anymore. So hiding in a bush and landing arrows from far away works really well, but the moment that the enemy sees you, so when you are in a bush but really close to the enemy, then you are not hidden anymore, and then you do not have the 100% extra bow damage. A great tactic though to be hidden most of the times is of course using the Shadow of Nyx's assassin ability that you can easily use if you are far enough from the enemy. So cycle around, find your position again, and you have the nice boost again as well. And really, set bonuses like this make a legendary set fun, because they push you to think differently. Again, I'm now looking for bushes all the time, while normally I don't really care for that. And it makes you wear a legendary set over epic gear that is normally better thanks to the extra perk per gear piece. But of course, if you have a strong epic hunter set, then you can engrave this set bonus from the Abstergo gear pack on all the boots in the game. I know this makes no sense on the Darius boots, but just so you know, it will be 30% extra damage now instead of 100% when you wear the full set. And as I said before, the individual gear pieces also have pretty nice perks. We got headshot damage on the head, adrenaline on a headshot kill on the gloves, so you can easily do more hunter abilities. And by the way, that new ability from episode 3 of the Legacy of the First Blade is really great also for hunter players, because it gives you a ton of adrenaline back and you cannot get hit while doing the ability. So when the enemies are like onto you, use this ability and then just run away and use all your abilities. Going back to the gear pieces, we find crit chance on the waist, bow charging speed on the chest, and the crit damage on the boots. So all pretty good perks that are always useful, like no perks that have you stand very far from the enemy or something. And if you were by the way curious, I engraved all the gear pieces as well, so you can click back in the video if you want to see what engravings I used for this gear set. So yes, overall a great hunter set that deals a lot of damage, especially when the enemies do not see you. I like it a lot, but of course the key from this set, the real big thing, is the unique look compared to the other armors in the game. And speaking of cool and unique items, Sargon is added again with 2 amazing legendary items that you can buy this week at the Eagles of the Olympian store. Where last week he sold the Trojan horse, one of my favorite horses in the game. This week he's selling another mount, but this time from the Hades set, and it looks pretty cool indeed. I always said that it's not as special as the other mounts that came with the Helix packs, but still overall it looks pretty cool. It's just an upgraded version of the fire horse that you of course get for killing the final mercenary in tier 1. Well, 100 orichalcum and this horse is yours, and I love the chest that Sargon is selling as well. You will not be getting it for the hunter stats, but it's actually one of the coolest parts of that wild boar set that was actually recently released, and it really fits well with the other items in the game as well. So 80 orichalcum for that one. And I hope you had some orichalcum when we started this week, because you will not be able to get 180 orichalcum by just doing the daily quest every day and the 2 new weekly contracts that just appeared. There's of course another way to get orichalcum by finding it in the world. I will put a link to the world map that people made over on Reddit in the description down below, so you can check that out if you want, because otherwise you gotta pick between both items if you do not have a lot of orichalcum anymore. But yeah, totally do the weekly contracts as well, although the weekly quest is a pain. We'll get to that in a second. First, the new mercenary that we gotta kill, the Swamp. Just track her down and beware of her cougar. I just killed it immediately with a critical assassinate. You can recruit her if you want, because it sometimes can be a legendary lieutenant. I got an epic one this time though. But yeah, you do it of course for the orichalcum. And then we got the weekly quest. Again, it's not a fun one. It's called Smoking Waters, and we have to destroy 15 pirate ships, 15 Spartan ships, and 15 Athenian ships all over Greece. So sailing across the Aegean Sea for all the targets will be necessary. It's gonna be a pain. Of course, putting the game on easy will help you destroy the ships faster, but it's really all about finding the ships first. Let's hope that Ubisoft makes these bounties less grindy, because Bruno, the live content director that I interviewed, did talk about that he wanted to do that. Last week's weekly was pretty easy, for example. We just had to do the arena a couple of times. Luckily, I already got a ton of Orichalcum, enough to buy some Olympian gifts at Sargon. And that's what I will be doing right now. Of course, subscribe for everything Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Like the video to support the channel. And now let's go to Sargon, where I always, at the end of my videos, try and get the freaking Hades Lieutenant. Yes, Sargon, it's really me. Yeah, I got a new outfit. I'm not someone from the future. No, don't worry. I'm still here to just buy the freaking Hades Lieutenant. So, what epic items do we, by the way, have? Assassin, all damage, crit damage. I don't know, it's a mace. Not sure if you want that as an assassin player. This one is pretty good, though. The crit chance while full health is really nice for the assassin playstyle. All damage, of course, always nice as well. But yeah, we're not here for that. We're here for the freaking Hades Lieutenant, so let's get on with it. Let's get on with it. Oh! Why is it raining legendaries all of a sudden? I got three videos in a row now. I got legendaries. Did they already like improve the drop chance? But that was not really something they did in the first place. I'm not really sure. By the way, I'm going to show you something else. Because they also added the Abstergo guys as a ship crew member. So I haven't bought the figurehead and the ship design. I don't think that's worth it. But the idea of having like a ton of Abstergo soldiers on your ship is cool. So I wanted to get it already to show it to you. But yeah, it will be possible to get all the other new ship things, including the things from the recent Shark Pack, in these gifts as well. But I'm not sure what is happening. Like 3 legendaries in a row. That's pretty insane. So subscribe to follow this adventure of me trying to get the freaking Hades Lieutenant. Like the video to support the channel. Check out my previous Assassin's Creed Odyssey video on exclusive Atlantis DLC info. That's going to be a really awesome DLC for sure. For now, I'll speak to you next time, and goodbye.